Welcome everyone to the Asher Marketing Podcast. We provide a wide range of services, including media planning, video production, creative solutions, digital and social media strategies, website development, public relations, and printing. To find out more, visit asheragency.com.
My guest is Zach Kessie. Zach, thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time since we've seen each other. I can't even remember when it was, but your world was a little different then. You're working in business development full time, and now you're an entrepreneur, and we're going to talk about how you landed in that spot and exactly what you're doing. But I want to start at the beginning. So we were talking before we hit record. You grew up in South Whitley.
Yep.
And you have an entrepreneurial streak that goes way back. So if you wouldn't mind, start there. Talk about what you were doing and how things kind of progressed and how you found yourself back in kind of a strange way in a similar place.
Yeah, I guess it goes full circle. You put me on the spot and asked me earlier about our Jeep farm business, if that was my first business. And I don't think it was. Yeah. I mean, probably the lemonade stand, right? On the corner, and then mowing yards as a kid in the neighborhood. But I got my start, like you said, grew up in South Whitley, one stoplight town, home of the famous Carol's Corner, right? So in the Corner Cafe. But I got a chance. We had a family friend who owned a construction company right around the corner from the house. And he picked me up one day, like in 7th grade, and said, hey, why don't you come over and start mowing the yard? If I only knew what mowing the yard was and getting in the construction business, right? So, of course, typical middle schooler who was at home and looking to make some money, started mowing the yard there with my brother in 7th grade. And by the end of that summer and into 8th grade, started spraying weeds, started cleaning up the shop. Eventually found myself over at Grace College, believe it or not, working on construction sites over there. So just got in the business. Had no family that was really in the trades. My dad is a lifer over at Zimmer Biomet.
So no family history of owning businesses?
No. Not really, or in the construction trades. Right. So double whammy, right? So jumped right into it. And so then just continued that construction career path every summer. A little bit more responsibility, was able to drive, started going to the job sites myself, working a variety of projects in the commercial construction realm, and got time for college. Thought about going to the Coast Guard Academy, actually applied to go to the Coast Guard Academy. Didn't get in. So everything happens for a reason. Those low SAT scores that my daughter is making me look foolish compared to her SAT scores now that she's getting.
She's glad you set the bar low.
Exactly. But landed on Purdue. Go down to West Lafayette for construction management. It's kind of what I knew. It's kind of by default. First one in my family to go to college. So that there wasn't a big exploratory oh, hey, what do you want to be? All these things.
Well, in that program, it's become more popular. I imagine there were not a lot of options if that was your program of interest.
That's correct. Correct. Really well-known program over the last 20, 30 years. Great placement and everything. And what a great experience, right? So went down there and discontinued my path as a Boilermaker, and then into the construction business full time.
So what was your plan headed out of college? Did you think you were going to be full-time entire career in the construction industry, or were you thinking about opening your own business or doing something else entirely?
It's funny you asked that. I cleaned out my nightstand the other day and found in one of my old journals, I had my career path, and I had two different forks in the road. Really, I wanted to graduate college and start, as arrogant as it sounds, I wanted to start taking over the world, right? I wanted to get started, and I was either going to go work for this large construction company in Indianapolis where I had interned, or I was going to come back home and work for the small company I worked at and someday be the owner is what I thought, right? Those were the two career paths. I was going to be a VP here at this big company, be a small fish in a big pond, or come back. Well, I took the job in Indianapolis for a few years out of school, got plenty of experience, great mentorships, saw what leadership was, got to go to a company that was over $1 billion a year company at the time, but had opened a Indianapolis office. We grew in the 3.5, 4 years I was there from 40 million to 150 million.
Wow.
So I felt like I got 10 years of experience really quick.
Sure.
That all changes when you get engaged, though. Right?
Yeah.
We were talking about those life decisions.
That's right. Yeah.
No matter how well I had that plan written out, I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting on the west side of Indy on a Sunday night in Ted's Montana Grill. I don't even think they're still in business. That'll date me. And I had to go back to Michigan. And I was leaving my fiance in Indianapolis, and she wasn't from Indy. And I had tricked her to move to Indy.
Where was she from originally?
She's a Crown Point girl.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
she's a Regioneer.
So neither one of you were home.
Neither one of us was home. And here I am leaving again on another Sunday night to go be on a job site.
Yeah.
I think at the time I was building Target stores up by Flint, Michigan. And, you're engaged. You're trying to figure out your life plan, no matter how goal-oriented you are.
And she's starting to think, is this what my life is going to be like?
You tricked me. Yeah. And I was building a Target store in the middle of winter, again, just south of Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
And I got a call from the next generation owner of the company in South Whitley where I had started.
Yeah.
And he had called and said, "Hey, are you happy?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I think I'm happy. I'm, 24, 25 at the time."
Yeah.
And he said, "Why don't you stop by and grab coffee on your way home on a Friday night? Can you leave early?"
Yeah.
And long story short, ended up coming back here to Fort Wayne in 2006.
Yeah.
Told my wife, well, if this doesn't work out, we'll go back to Crown Point.
Yeah.
So, this is year 20 here.
Yeah, it's worked out.
Year 20, it's worked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you have that stop. And eventually you progress in the construction industry. I mean, when you and I first met, I think it was Michael Kinder and Sons, correct?
Correct.
And you were in business development. Was that full-time or is that just the role that I knew you in?
Great question. So I evolved my project management life. So I ran the projects, right?
Yeah.
Put the team together for a variety of commercial jobs in town.
Yeah.
And I went to Kinder in 2011.
Okay.
So Doug and Bill been great to me. Had an opportunity to build the Manchester School of Pharmacy up on DuPont, right? And I had a business I had started at the time, a specialty fire stopping company. They talked to me, "Hey, why don't you come help us run this one job? Run this one job. Be a project manager. We have this nice project that has to be done in 12 months for Manchester University, one of their good clients." And I think I was 29 years old. My second daughter was 8 weeks old or 10 weeks old. I just told my wife we were doing the fire stopping business full time, and she didn't want to go back to work. And of course, she loved Doug Kinder, and we knew him personally. And so she's like, "You're taking it, right? I'm going to call Doug. You're taking the job."
Well, probably, more stability, at least the perception of that at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even though she knew I had that entrepreneurial spirit, by that time, that was our second company we had started.
She wanted you to be an entrepreneur with a safety net.
Exactly.
Entrepreneur with benefits.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. So I jumped into project management with them, and that's what I knew, right? That's what I went to school for. And as that role changed and that evolved, we were blessed there to put a good team together and to grow. Naturally, as you can tell, I like to talk. I like people.
We're going to be here all day.
Right. I like people. So I evolved to where I was doing business development part-time. And I think I was transitioning about the time you and I worked on a RFP process for a downtown project. We got the vision cast. Some fun stuff.
It was,
It's funny. I just was killing time before this, and I was actually at the coffee shop where that building was that you and I were vision casting what we could have. But then moved into business development full time. So as we evolved as a business.
And what did you like about that? And what were some of the challenges in that role?
I said being a project manager was very stressful. Right? You're keeping the owner of your company happy. You're keeping all your subcontractors happy, and you're keeping your client happy. Right? And the tradespeople.
Or you're trying to.
You're the middle guy, right? You're the hub. So that's a very stressful role, and you learn to deal with that, and you realize how tight you're wound. But moving over to the sales and business development side, it's more pressure, right? If I'm out screwing around, or if I'm not making my cold calls or making my connections, I got the entire company and everybody else that is not going to have work.
It's hard to take the foot off the accelerator, right? You know, it's the old adage is fix your roof when the sun is shining. And if you're in business development, it's when the sun is shining and when it's raining and when it's snowing, when there's a hole in the roof and when the roof looks fine. You're fixing your roof. Yeah.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
So, so in one breath, that was the difference. But what I loved about it was I got to create my own, right? I got to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So at that time, 140-year-old business, almost 140-year-old company at MKS.
Yeah.
And I got to play entrepreneur inside that business. Yeah. So I built a business development marketing team with the help of others, right? And just was able to go out and use my project management skills to do something I had no clue.
Yeah.
My wife was freaking out.
Sure.
I'm a project manager by trade, turning into a sales guy. Are we going to eat?
Yeah.
What do you know about sales? My dad was a salesman.
Yeah.
You're a construction guy.
Yeah. Well, and I get the sense you're someone who likes to solve problems. And if you do business development right, there's a strong problem solving aspect to it where, if my expectation is with a company with the reputation that MKS had, you're not cold calling all the time, at least. You are talking to past clients. You're talking to people who have an interest in what you do, and you're just helping them understand how you can be a solution to their problem or not, and then referring them somewhere else if needed.
Right, exactly. That's why I always split the hairs and call it business development and not sales. Yeah. Because we are developing business. We were becoming that trusted advisor, right? Helping people in the process. Yep. And the great news, I'll talk about this later. I'm a curious kid, right? I love how things are built. Yeah. So I got to go in to learn how a marketing agency is ran, how a university is ran, right? Yeah. At Indiana Tech or Trine or any of those places, to a manufacturing facility every day was something different.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Peek behind the curtain.
Well, and when we were talking about the origin of this podcast, it really stems from me being a curious person. Like, what makes you tick? What's your background? Where are you headed from here? And if I could get paid to do that full time, I would. But I got to bring some value and not just talk to people all day. So, so you're at MKS for how long?
So I went there to run one project, and I stayed almost 15 years.
Wow, you were there that long. Okay. Yeah. And is it then that you pivot to full-time entrepreneur out of MKS?
Yes.
And what was that decision like? Because that's your wife's seen you kind of have one foot in one world, one foot in another world, little bit of a safety net, but, the scratching the itch of being an entrepreneur. When you told her, okay, I'm going all in, how'd that go?
Yeah. It was a little different at 44 years old than it was at 29 years old. Right? Yeah. A lot more at stake.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, just being honest, a lot more at stake with, number one, with 3 kids by now, right? We're farther along in our career. Are we dipping in the savings? What does that look like?
You've built your foundation, and here you come with a sledgehammer potentially.
Right. Been rewarded really well. Had a good career. Sure. Got to pretty much do what I wanted to do. Had a great team, and I think I had 2 conversations about the transition, and then I went to her and said, "Okay, this might be real." And I wasn't looking. I mean, this is the truth. I've told everybody this. I wasn't looking. I had it really good. Yeah. Right. I was able to help start other businesses inside that organization, and I was having lunch with the seller one day of Clooney Landscaping, and because I have worked with him over my past life, he had been a partner on multiple jobs, knew him both professionally and personally. Yeah. And I ask people about real estate and their succession plan when I have lunch with them. 2 things that interest me. Yep. And he said, "Why are you interested?" And I said, "I don't know, like today, maybe, I don't know. Like, well, let's play pretend." Yeah. Use some of my, Jim Wilcox would be proud. I used some of my Sandler sales training, right? I started some questioning, and we just started playing pretend and figuring out what that was like. And really, it wasn't a desire that I was out on the street looking to buy a business. I just watched the market. I watched my friends do it. I'm wired this way. I love change. I love building things. I love teams. And I didn't think, like, I wasn't looking for a subcontracting business. I knew I wasn't going to go start a bar or an entertainment or something out of my wheelhouse. I mean, we did start a retail business about 2 years ago. My wife and I did.
About that too. So it just kind of like the stars aligned, right opportunity at the right time, even though you weren't looking for it.
Correct.
Well, and my understanding is, there's going to be a lot of opportunity out there with folks who are nearing or past retirement age who own businesses and don't have a succession plan. I mean, that was true here at Asher, where the founder and his brother, they built a really successful business, and there was no natural person to hand it off to. So we were owned by a holding company for a few years, and then 2 of our employees bought the business. But a similar situation where it was an opportunity without a ready answer, and it sounds like that was the case for you as well.
Yeah. So we just got to, go through the process, and then it got more real over time. Yeah. And then I had to, like every great decision and fork in the road, you have to outweigh the pros and the cons. Mm-hmm. And to me, it felt like I called it a midlife crisis for like the first week as I made the transition, and I resigned from my position a year ago, January. And then I started calling it a midlife opportunity. And I've stuck with that because it truly is. It's like, mid-40s. Yeah. Still got some bandwidth in me, and feel like I've had my street MBA of everything I've been through and been able to learn and the relationships I built and everything. So why not, right? Yeah,
well, in mid-40s, I think it's very different than, our parents' generation, where there's still plenty of career left if you want it, right? Right. And I think the mindset, at least for me, and it sounds like it's the same for you, has changed, where the goal is not to stop working because working is, not fun. It's to keep working in ways that continue to be more interesting and fun and to stay relevant and valuable. And if you can do that with your own business, even better.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So Clooney Landscaping, tell me a little bit, for those who don't know what that business is and what you do. Tell us a little bit about the business and what your vision is for where you want to go from here.
We're hitting pause for just a moment to talk about something that can transform your online presence: Asher Agency and their exceptional website services. In today's digital world, your website is often the first impression potential customers have of your business. Is yours making the right impact? At Asher, we specialize in creating stunning, custom, user-friendly websites that not only look great, but also drive results. Visit asheragency.com for more info.
Yeah, great question. So Tom and Lori Clooney started the business 41 years ago out of Huntington, Indiana. Primarily, it evolved over those 40 years into the commercial landscape and hardscape business. So worked on a lot of the projects at MKS or Hagerman or all the other, Wygan, the other CMs in town. And just take care of people. Work for great clients direct, like Taylor, Indiana Tech, those higher ed clients as well. So had a nice business, family owned, great job, great reputation, but also just minded their business. Yeah. I was so surprised because I knew the Clooney name. Yeah. I was so surprised that everybody, when I made the switch, they're like, who? Yeah. Who? Yeah. So from that standpoint, I was a little shocked by that. But a great foundation, great people. So building off of those people. And I like change. Like I said, when I was first out of school, when I was in Indianapolis, I got to see what growth in an organization looks like. And change at MKS, we were blessed the same way. We went through a lot of growth there over the 15 years. And you learn a lot about yourself, the people you're in the trench with. And I'm one of those guys, you always got to be growing and evolving. I'm not a status quo guy. I'm not a box checker. So to me, change is good. I eat it up, almost a little too much.
Same. I mean, there are days when I wish we could go back to 1992 and where the world spun a little bit more slowly. Right. But it's what, I think I get re-energized every 3 or 5 years. I've been here for more than 20 years, but there's always something new in terms of challenges thrown at you. And I secretly kind of like that, even if I might complain about it at the time. So as you look ahead, you've got about 40 employees. Did I hear you correctly there? Is your goal to maintain that and do well by what the company's always done and continue on that path? Or are you looking to transform it, grow, and do anything different? I suspect I know what the answer is, but I want to hear it from you.
Different is good. I guess it's not a reinvention, it's a tweak, right? We have good people, have the foundation. want to continue to serve that commercial space. There's a lot of commercial projects we're not touching. Number one, so put on another estimator this winter, right? Put a new director of maintenance in place to run our maintenance and our reoccurring revenue side of our business, so we can take care of our clients. And then also, I told you pre-recording that I've been blessed the last 15 years building some great friends and relationships over a lot of industries. So that has led us into the residential space, taking care of from an estate management standpoint, whether it's maintenance, renovation, and that standpoint. And then also we've ventured into the site work business. We're not going to go out and build the next do the site work for the next Amazon. But if I'm in your backyard, Anthony, and you're putting in a pool or an outdoor kitchen and you need downspout drains or you need a pond, we're going on a consultation tomorrow to put a 2-acre pond in, right? I want to be your outdoor GC. Right?
Well, and bringing in that construction knowledge and complementary skills that you have.
Right. If I can provide you a turnkey solution and use, again, my general contracting. Again, I'm not going to be a general contractor, but if you need a deck done and then some pavers and an outdoor kitchen, do you want one point of contact or you want 6? Right? I can be your guy. I'm used to the guy holding, like I said, keeping everybody happy. That's what I like. So.
So let's talk about another business you mentioned briefly, but I'm a fan of Outdoor District. And the reason I'm a fan, I'll disclose, is that my wife likes to shop in Roanoke. And for a long time, my role was watching her shop. But Outdoor District is a retail store that has a nice selection of men's clothing, your Patagonias, your, what are some other brands?
Cotopaxi, Cool. Prana.
My favorite pair of shorts I bought in your store. I've got a pair of Patagonia shorts.
There you go.
I think will be with me until death. So
there you go.
So why did you start that business with your wife, and what's the vision there?
I'll try to keep the story short, but it's funny. It's worth it. So again, we bought, us and a partner bought our first building in Roanoke in the fall of 2019.
And Roanoke at this point is well established as, I don't want to say a tourist spot, but a nice destination to go, have dinner, shop, and it's right on, the main drag on 24. So you're not there at the start, but you're in that momentum where there's enough around you to make it work, but there's still room for growth.
Right. Still, Pete and Alice Eshelman, great job of investing in Roanoke, right? But still in 2019, there were some empty buildings. There was an old Carroll furniture building sitting empty. And me and my buddy decided that it was cheaper than a lake house, so we split the building. And then talked my mom into being my first tenant. She moved her business from down here on West Barry, Saving Grace Vintage. She was my first tenant.
Really?
So she moved into the building, and then we put 5 tenants in it. So long story short, fast forward.
That was your mom.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So full circle.
Yeah.
So it's probably in my blood a little bit.
Yeah.
But so full circle. So we do that building. We do another building across the street. My neighbor ladies open Jebby's Ice Cream in that building. And then this third building comes up. And I'm like, we need a men's store. It can have ladies' clothes, but we need a place for men to go shopping in Roanoke. There needs to be a cigar bar or something clothing wise. And that gear and those clothing lines are what we're attracted to as a family. Every time we go up Lake Michigan, we go to South Carolina. We just got back from Hilton Head. Right. Those are the clothing stores that we go into, Chimney Rock, wherever it goes. And so we got this building and it was like, well, we could have filled it right away with a tenant, had it as a real estate investment. And we had talked to a couple other operators and met another operator, couldn't get another operator to go in there to bring this business. And we're on our way to watch Zach Eady play down at Purdue, and my wife's in the car, and we're somewhere by Logansport, and she made the biggest mistake of her life, besides marrying me probably. But she says, well, maybe I'll do it. And I told her that was the hottest thing she said to me in 20 years, that she wanted to start a business. Because if you've met my wife, she's not an entrepreneur. She's not a risk taker. She's probably the one that's kept me out of hot water the last 20 years.
And you're thinking, I can do what I want to do anyway, but delegate it to somebody else.
I was like, yes. And so then the next day I'm writing a business plan and putting this together. And she's like, oh, wait, I thought we were just talking about it. I was like, no. So we just jumped into that space, and neither one of us know the retail business. And of course, learned a lot of lessons the hard way. She jumped into corporate apparel this fall, which has helped, right? Because the retail, the bricks and mortar is up and down. Even a destination like Roanoke with all the great restaurants and everything.
Winter's probably not your busiest time of year.
No. December's great. November, December's great. January, February, you think they put a blockade up.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's been fun. And it's good to have something to work on, with her and the kids. My kids all work there. My two daughters work there. So if you're in the store, they're,
that's great.
They're half of our workforce. So it's good teaching them a lesson.
Yeah.
So for us, it's about having that in the community. And no, we're not going to get rich selling Patagonia or Cotopaxi in Roanoke, Indiana. But it's a lifestyle brand, and it teaches, them something too.
And you've got multiple things going on. So, there's opportunities there to diversify and not be dependent upon any one revenue source, which is a nice little cheat code for life when you can do it, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So been a nice side little opportunity, right? Fork in the road.
Yeah. So, and the real estate piece of it, you own the building too.
Right.
So you've got an asset that you can always do something with if needed down the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can always lease it out tomorrow too. So.
Yeah. All right. So I want to pivot to some more quick hit questions between the two of us. We're not probably going to get to quick hit answers, but that's okay. So you've done a lot of different things career-wise. You've worked for other people. You've worked for yourself. You've started businesses. You've been part of successful businesses. What have you learned in all that you think translates for anyone in terms of what it takes to have a fulfilling, successful career?
Got to continuously be a learner. The curious kid thing. I said I'd come back to it.
Yeah.
You got to be asking questions.
Yeah.
Somebody's not going to just spew information to you.
Yeah.
But there are so many great people.
Yeah.
Especially in northeastern Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
For the most part, and there's so much information out there.
Yeah.
If you just ask.
Well, and I love that you say that because I grew up big city and moved to Indiana not knowing a soul, but have had a really great career and really been thrilled at some of the relationships I've built. And I think some of that is because with a mid-sized city and smaller communities, there's accountability, right? You have to understand that you're going to run into people again, and you're going to be talked about in rooms that you're not in ways that make you think ahead and say, okay, I better help some people out because I'm eventually going to need some help.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up in a one-stoplight town, you didn't get away with anything.
Yeah.
Your mom would know about it before you got back home.
Yeah.
My brother used to call it the mom web, right? Same way in life. I feel that way in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne was a big city for me, but now my kids are like, we can't go anywhere. We can't.
Yeah.
You just never know. And especially now, I mean, a lot of my clients now were direct competitors of me for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
But the relationships I tried to build, and not always the case, we might not have seen eye to eye, but treat them like a friend.
Yeah.
A lot of these people I went to school with, Purdue with, whatever, right? And I didn't know I was going to own a subcontracting company and I was going to be calling on them, right?
Sure.
I'm now working for Wygant, Hagerman, all of my direct competitors in the past, and I treated them like I wanted to be treated. And
some of it's being a known quantity, just being a familiar face and someone who, even if the relationship is neutral, you're better off than the person who has no relationship.
Right. They still have my number. They can pick up my phone and I'm going to see them at a kid's sporting event or a back to school night or whatever it may be. Right?
For sure. Yeah. And I think that's an advantage. I think that's a great thing.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why this community is so great.
Yeah. So the next question has to do with, well, whatever direction you want to take it in. Could be about entrepreneurship. It could be about retail. It could be about landscaping. It could be about the business-to-business world. But what's a myth or misconception that you think exists around the work that you do that you would like to debunk, or something that maybe isn't understood well enough that you want to amplify?
Well, in my new midlife opportunity, everybody's like, landscaping. How'd you pick landscaping? Like, everybody thinks landscaping is just mowing, putting mulch down, whatever. It's just like any other trade business, right? I think one of our most notable projects, of course, I was on the other side of it at the time. But if you look at the retaining wall at Tryon University at Union Chapel, it's like 40 foot in the air.
Yeah.
It's holding back the whole parking lot.
Yeah.
And then the pond, right? That was built by Clooney Landscaping in the past, right? That is not some simple feat. That is not Chuck in a truck putting some blocks up, right?
Yeah.
Like, you look at the paver work that gets put in place around the community. You look at the work, I mean, we got guys down finishing up the last phase of the electric works right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is not that's a big misconception that this is a low craft position. And I think trades in general, I've been a big advocate for trades my whole career with workforce development, our trade associations and everything. But really the persona is, a landscaping business? Oh, so you mow?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's just, and I didn't realize it because I wasn't in it. And I probably even, as a GC in my past life, landscaper was the last guy I talked to. I was about the structural steel, the electrical, the mechanical, right? So I'm as guilty as everyone else. But now that I'm on the side of it, I'm like, wow.
Well, and I'll tell you, those are skills I don't have.
Exactly.
I prove it every day that I can't do those things. And one of the things that I'm seeing, and I think I would suspect you're seeing it too, is the generations that are coming into their careers now are really seeing more value in the trades and saying, I want to work with my hands. I want to be able to see the tangible result of the work that I do. And I envy that a little bit as a English major and a guy who works on intangible stuff.
Right.
There's something to that, I think, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited. I'd say probably in the last 5 to 7 years as a industry, but especially here in northeastern Indiana, the snowball is rolling down the hill with the trades. It's coming alive. You see all the CTE programs, everybody's putting up a lot of dollars, which just excites me as someone who is in my mid 40s and knows that we need the trades to continue, right? It's a great career. It's been great to me. A guy I didn't know any other.
Yeah, and a lot more AI resistant than some other fields you might go into.
Exactly. Yeah. There's still technology coming in our industry, but you still need craftspeople.
For sure. For sure.
And we need craftspeople to build your school, your church, your office building. Right. So that's super exciting.
Well, and maintain, right? I was fortunate to be on the Fort Wayne Trails board for about 8 years, and that was a lesson in the fact that everybody wants to build. Not a lot of people want to maintain, but there's a great career that can be had for being the person who makes sure that spaces stay livable and usable. And that's a big part of your work too.
Oh yeah. The ongoing maintenance, right? Yeah. You finish a building, you finish a multi-million-dollar building for any client, whether it's a not-for-profit, for-profit in town. But to see that building still looking like it should in 5, 10, 15 years, right? Something as simple as turf management, right? Bed management, all those things that everybody's like, oh, you just go out and mow grass. No, take care of it. I mean, our healthcare systems want to look nice. Our universities want to look nice.
For sure.
Right? There's a level of care there. So, and it takes skilled people to do that. So,
For sure.
Big misconception. So we're going to change that.
All right. All right. Well, we'll start right here. Last quick hit question. What is something, you're busy, you've got multiple businesses, you've got 3 kids, you have a lot going on. What's something you use? It could be technology or not. It could be a tip, a trick, a hack, whatever you want to call it. Something you do that helps you stay productive, that helps you get more done, be effective, and be efficient.
Yeah, that's a good question. Of course, like everybody else, just came from a lunch meeting. We're trying to leverage using AI and technology on an everyday basis, right? Just from an efficiency standpoint. But the one tool I'm using right now for our team, and we're building a foundation on a 40-year-old business, but trying to put our spin on things is we're a believer in EOS, entrepreneurial operating system. And so that's how we run our business. So we implemented that last year. And we use a technology called 90 that keeps track. We run our meetings. And L10 meetings. This is all nomenclature from them. But we start them on time. We finish them on time. We have accountability. We have scoreboards. And that technology in that app right now, if I come up with something on my phone, I'm clicking it. Thought pops in my head. Hey, Anthony's not happy how we're mowing the yard, or this person has a bid opportunity, or we need an onboarding process. It's out of my head. Now, I still wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
But you try to clear those thoughts and use technology to keep your thoughts organized.
100%. I mean, one of the best lessons I ever learned in my career, and this sounds kind of basic, but maybe I was late to it, but I think a lot of people never get there, is just conceding that your memory is not a place to keep stuff. It's just not. One of my favorite quotes is from David Allen. He says that your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. So it's about capturing that idea. You can discard it later if it's not worth anything, but you have to capture it, not because every idea is great, but you're freeing up your mind to do the creative thinking that's going to lead to the good stuff.
Yeah, that's great advice, right? And no matter how many times you hear it, you need to hear it again.
For sure.
Because it's all head trash, right? Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
It's all head trash.
Well, and you get away from it because you get busy and you say, okay, that stuff's all great for when I have, my what together, but I don't. So I got to just take it as it comes. And you end up saying, no, the best thing for me to do is to go back to the system that works.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Zach, this has been great. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate catching up and hearing more of your story. So thanks for doing it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yep,
great catching up.
You too. And thanks to everyone who took the opportunity to listen to this episode of the Asher Marketing Podcast. We'll be back next time with another great guest, and we hope you'll join us then.
We'd love to hear your feedback. Feel free to reach out to us at hello@asheragency.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps us reach more listeners. For additional resources and updates, visit our website at asheragency.com. Thanks for tuning in.